Hi everyone, it's me, Horan, and this is my student card. I will demonstrate the structure and logic behind our code, our project in the Unity engine, and I won't talk too much about the presentation of the games because that has been shown in the other YouTube videos. I have uploaded them. So now we can have a look at the structure of our code. This is a several functions we have achieved in the engine. We didn't use too much plugins or other libraries. The only plugin or library we use in our project is autosave, and another one is the .win. That means a library to control the UI enemies in our project. Okay, so first there will be the boss and enemies. We define some HP attack logic, and after that there will be the interfaces of the damageable and save and load. And after that, there will be items, NPCs, players, save and load, shop, skills, the UI, and the camera. And finally, there will be the wave. The wave means that we use the wave manager to control the round 1, round 2, round 3 of our games. In every round, we will summon some enemies, and the aim of our game is to beat down these enemies. And after that, you get some rewards. And finally, you will uh, beat the boss after 3 rounds, you will succeed in our whole game. So basically, that's uh, the flow of our games. So nextly, I will talk about the scripts more specifically. Okay, so this is the boss function. You can see that we define the node, the structure, and the selector, the sequence, uh, several functions of our behavior tree. So we achieve the behavior tree ourselves, and this is the most important part for designing the game. First, there will be from for the whole design, there will be the selector node. That means that the boss will find the node from top to bottom, and when one node retain the result successfully, the boss will kiss that. So the priority is that this node to kiss the special skills, this node to kiss the melee attack, this is for the range attacks, and uh, the last one will be multiplayer. And for the special kill, we use a sequence node. That means that all of the nodes should return the result successfully, and the boss will case the special skill. And this is the boss scripts. This is about the UI we want to show on the screen, just like the field of the boss HP, the amount of the HP, the percentage, and these are something we want to define about the special skill, just like summon enemies in the games, and also show the players um, from the boss position to the player position. We define the number of the uh, blue light and how many times the boss will shoot and how fast the boss will shoot. And this define the function about moving the boss from the original place to the target place. We define the speed, defined which place the boss will attack. And these are some attributes of the boss HP. These are for the melee attack and the range attack, the range, the cooldown, and yes, that's all. So uh, later, these are some function to support these special skills and the melee attack and the range attacks, just like the move in the Navi Mesh. Navi Mesh is a library in the Unity to arrange the AI path funding. And there's also the take damage. I have talked about that in the interfaces. This is the logic about the die of the boss that will clean all of the corridors, all of the UI, and the event will be invoked to notice all of other scripts that the boss has been died. Okay, so basically that's all of the scripts of the boss, and this is the enumerator to case the special skills according to the priority we have designed. You can clearly see here that will be the melee attack, just check the player in the in our short range, and that will be the range attack. Okay, so nextly I will talk about the normal enemies. This is normal enemies, the same as the boss. The normal enemies will also have some UI data to show the name, show the UI elements, the percentage of the HP, and we define some presentation of the UI color, UI enemies, UI size. And for the enemy part, we use the same machine. That's all of the status we have defined for our normal enemies. You'll see the partial, the case, the attacked, range attacks, and rush. For the rush, we didn't shave that, and that will be the self explosion. Okay, so when we awake, we will initialize all of the companies. Okay, so for this part is the most important things to achieve the state machine. You can see that first we will check the enemy is dead or not. When it's dead, we will return the status. So all of the logic behind won't be case. And nextly, the enemy will check the position of the player because we define the state machine. We define what the enemies will do according to the range from the enemy to the player. The first thing is to check the cell explosion is allowed or not. That means that the HP of the enemy is reduced lower than the threshold we have set in the scripts. Then the enemy will explosion will explode and the case some damage to the player does that. And after that is that the partial, the media attack, and the casing. So now they will be here. You can see that the state machine will run the code from the top to the bottom according to the priority in the switch. You can see that is the partial. That's the case if the player is far away from the enemy, and there's a normal attack. Media attack, that means that the player is very close to the enemy. This is a range attack, and this is a rush, but we didn't achieve that. No problem. And after that, there will be some take damage, and after the death of the enemies, that will give rewards to the players, just like just give the player some experience and the goals. Okay, so that's the function about the UI. Okay, so nextly I'll talk about the interfaces. This is the damageable. That means that all of the objects should be attacked, should be taking damage. They all need to implement these interfaces. And this is the interface used to save the game and load the game. When we want to transfer the data in the games into the Jensen, we will use the save. And when we want to load the game from Jensen to the game data, the object will implement the load data function interfaces. And this is the name function, and this is the inventory. You can see that all of our data is loaded from the Jensen. So you could see that these are some functions we have defined to add the money, remove the money, and to spend money and update these things. And this is used for apply the bonus from the equipment to the player. When we drag the icon from the inventory to the equipment slot, the bonus will be applied to the player. And this is for remove the bonus to if we want to take off the equipment. And okay, so that's the real part to apply the bonus. You can see that we get a component of the player HP, both player MP and player attack controller to enhance the speed when we are wearing the shoes. This is to remove the bonus, almost the same as apply the bonus. Okay. Inventory items, we use them to define the data structure to abstractly describe all of the items from the Jensen field. And we also apply some function about the cooldown. This is used to notice to tell the UI part to refresh the cooldown number and the cooldown must should be shown or not. Okay, so basically, this is the item manager. This is the we defined all of the elements of the items, and this is to load the items from the Jensen, and all of data will be shown here. This is our item data, and you can see that the ID, the name described, and the bonus used for the equipment, and the icon path, and the type of the game, the type of the items, and the price of the items. All those things will be shown here. And also there'll be something about the UI. This is the filter function. You could filter the items according to this new. We will assign them to the buttons in the Unity engine. And when we open the inventory UI, the cursor manager will show the cursor of the game. And this is the initialize the inventory slows. That means that they will read the ID of the items and loaded these items into the inventory of the players and show them. We make a prefab to present the slot of the items, and the amount will be shown on the items. So this function is to render all the slots to the inventory. And this is a specific function to filter the items according to their type. Okay, So nextly, I'll talk about NPC part. First, I have talked that we have two kinds of NPC. First is to talk with. So of course we will have a dialog function. This is the scriptable object. That's something used in Unity to uh, define a data structure ourselves. So this is the whole data, the whole dialog part, and this is to uh, define the target. That means that we want to define uh, after our selection or after the end of the dialog, which dialog data will be loaded after this dialog. So this is the dialog manager. We can see that we included the UI presentation in this view. We define the typing speed and the UI and the dialog data. I mean, this one we will use in our game. When we start the dialog, we will make the cursor visible, and we will render the UI on the screen, and we will load the dialog data from the node we have defined in the dialog data scriptable objects. Okay, so there's the enumerator to type in the characters, and that's the button selection. That means that we will select the node of the dialog data, and the text will be shown according to the dialog data we have defined. That means to end the dialog, and the UI will be shown. Okay, so this is the NPC chat function that's used to working with digital scripts. You can see that this is the trigger enter. That means that if the player enter the trigger, UI will be shown, and the trigger of this NPC also be shown. So on the NPC select bar, that will be also the same. NPC select is used for the normal NPC to open the UI, just like the shop UI, just like the attributes UI. Okay, finally, this is the player part. For the player part, this part is just a singleton of the player to tell the system that this is the player for assign the tag to the player. And this is the attack part. We achieve the media tag and the range tag of the player. We define this is the normal media tag. This is the heavy media tag. This is for the left click of the mouse. This is for the right click of the mouse. And this is the animator. We will pass some params from the scripts to the animator. Just like when we use the media tag, we will pass the media tag. So I will find that. Yes, this one. Sorry. Oh, we can see that. And on this part, the player animator, we will pass the trigger. And for the habitat, it's almost the same. And this is the enumerator. When we want to attack, we will stop the movement of the player. So we use this enumerator. Okay, so basically, this is all of our media text. And there's also something about attributes, just like when we enhance attributes of the players, just like the intelligence, attack, strings, and we will apply this bonus to the player. Just like this one, you can see that when when the level is upper, the player will gain some skill points, and the player will apply these points to attributes, just like the healthy, the resistance, the mana. Okay. So this is the UI button to enhance attributes. This is used to show the points we have assigned to different attributes. And these are some companies have something to do with these attributes. This is used to load all of the attributes in the JSON. Okay, so basically, this is the apply bonus. That means that we will, when we enhance attributes, the HP will be higher, the mana will be higher, the attack speed will be higher, and the stamina will be higher also. This is the player controller. We define a lot of the move speed, and the rush speed, the dash speed, the normal walking speed, and in our scripts we use the player controller. That's a component of the Unity to move the player. This is bonus in the JSON field. That's the initialize when we start a game from the save data or the new game. And this is the player experience. We defined how much experience is needed for the next level, and we defined a lot of events to notice the other scripts that the player has been entered at next level. And these are some support functions to add experience, and this is used for the bonus after each round. That means that when we click the button, the player will enter the next level. And this is the function to find the skill points. And this one is for the player HP and the player MP. You can see that we define the HP, and this is used to save data. This resistance will reduce the damage the player will take in a percentage, and this is used to show uh, the visual effect after attacked. And this is to load the data from the JSON and set the UI initialize, showing the UI not only on the screen but also in the workspace. This is the damage function. This is the heal function. This is increase the max health when we enhance the attributes to strings. Okay, this is the death function. When the player is destroyed, we will destroy all of other UI in the workspace. Okay, this is used for the save and load data. MP is also the same, so I don't want to talk too much about that. Just about the recovered HP and recovered MP. They're also the same. Okay, so finally there will be the save data. The save data is including all of the things we want to say about player, about the games. We save the attributes of the player level, player attack, player HP, player mana, and the speed of the player. So the save data is an abstract data structure, so that will be used in the save log manager. You can see that we will save that to the to this space, this path, and when the game is loaded, when we click the load button and the save button, the save log manager will use the function to transfer the data from the game data to the JSON. And these are some UI that we will use in the save and load. And the shop function is almost the same as the inventory, because in the shop you also use the game ID, the item ID. So the logic is almost the same as the inventory. The only difference is that we add some button to the shops that you could buy the items from the shop and put them into the inventory. After you click the buy button, we will use the function in the inventory to add items. So that's all. And finally, there will be the skill. We define the abstract data structure to control all of the things we will use in the skill script object. And this is the description. This will be the value be used for the heal value, and the range of the damage attacked, and some of the sound effects. But we didn't show them all in our games. Okay, so these are the skill assignments. Maybe I think that you have seen that in our video that after we click the skill button, we will see another panel, and in that panel we will send the skills to the hotkey. So this script is used to add the skill slows into the UI panel and show the secondary panel. Okay. So for this part, this is the specific logic of our skills. You can see that that's used for the skill one. We didn't offer a choice for the player to change the hotkey. We just use the Q and E to cast the skills. And these are some effects. This is to assign the skills to the hotkey that will be used when the player clicks the button prefab. And now there will be all of the logic of our skills. You can see that we use the speech and case because we didn't shape too much skills in our game, so we use this function. And later there will be the specific enumerator of our skill, just like this is the invisible. That means that we use that we will change the tag of the player, and the enemy won't find the player. This is the speed up. This is to enhance the damage resistance, and this is to destroy the game object. This is to case the damage zone. Okay, so basically that's all. And these are some scripts we have written about the camera, about the UI. I will talk about the wave manager first. Okay, so in the wave manager, we will define our game logic about the wave challenge, the run challenge. We define some UI to show that this round is the boss round or not. And we define some rewards button. You can see that here. After the enemies has been beaten down, you will see some reward buttons here, and these are all of the tries. And this is some rewards that will be no, this is the some enemies will be shown in each round. We will define the pace, define the amount, and define how the enemies will be. And these are all of the rewards we will add into our rewards list. And this is the start wave. When the player press the trigger for a little moment, the wave will start. And this is to, you can see that we have a refresh logic. That means that when you are not satisfied with the rewards, you could refresh the button. The only problem is that after you refresh the button, the rewards will reduce for once. Okay, this is the enumerator to end the wave. After the boss is beaten down, the final panel will be shown. Okay, so basically, that's the function to select the rewards. This is to refresh the rewards button. These are some animation to support the UI animation. These are the specific logic of the rewards. After you choose the button, we will find the convenience of the player and recover or offer some bonus. Okay, so basically that's all about our games, our codes, the structure. So that's all.